End of the road news, part 5. So today was an interesting day. We have, I think that was like the 4th person this week, maybe. I was trying to count it. That got removed. So, today it was suicide attempt. You might say, well, it doesn't sound all that bad there. It's like, oh, yeah, it is. I mean, this was a new guy. So, he rung the bell. Our training regimen is too much for him. And, we tell people, don't try to join our Salvation Army if you're not cut out for it, because this is some of the most gruesome, tiring training you've ever gone through. This is harder than Navy SEAL training. At least for some. We don't really have any Navy SEALs here. We have guys that say they're Navy SEALs, but that's different. They even say they train like Navy SEALs, but they don't. Anyway, that's kind of what's going on with it. So that was our 4th guy this week that we lost. Sometimes guys come in here and they think, you know what, I heard it, we're going to be trained by tram. And it's like, yeah. But they just don't think, they just can't cut it. So they get cut off. And, people say, well, that's good. And it's like, no, we don't want to be cut off. And we don't want you to cut it off just to be like the tram. We want you to, grow and adapt and overcome. So this week, the sisters were training us in how to slip in and out really fast. Some of us are really good at slipping in and out. Some of us are a little older. Some of us are a little elderly. So they don't slip in and out as fast. But, we adapt for everyone's training because we understand where people are coming from. And we accept even elderly into this program. We have a blind old Mexican cataract. And some elderly black folk. Some don't train as hard as others, but that's okay. That's okay. So, I'm just putting this message out because I'm like, look, guys, that's our 4th. I've been promoting this program over the internet. I know there's lots of people listening. And it gets popular, and they say, hey, I want my son or whoever to come into your program. Because people think that they're going to come home all ripped and, knowledgeable on some good stuff, and they're going to turn their life around. And I'm like, look, this is not that program. I mean, there's some guys doing wheelbarrows right now. I just turned into a wheel. You aren't comfortable with being touched, I don't recommend you come into the program. So, it could be any week that I get out of here. So, I mean, sometime as early as this week I could get out of here. So, yesterday even, they teased the idea that I could be getting out of here. So, think about that. And also, there's lots of people that we're slowly filtering them out into the street. And some of us made mention that they realized that some of us are coming back in really quickly. And we've been talking about that, some of the guys and I, about how, this is Department of Corrections. We got to correct these people, and it kind of turned into a joke about how, stop throwing people in jail. They say, well, we don't even know what we're doing, and the Justice Department doesn't know what they're doing. The Metro doesn't know what they're doing, and no one knows what they're doing. And so, you don't just correct people by throwing them in jail. There's a lot of drug addicts, and they're just snorting lines of medication that they get, and then they go back on the street, and then they snort other things that are more potent, and then they come right back in. So, not our guys, though. I mean, well, not our guy girls, though. One of them just went off to the bed, and I don't know if we can call that a success story, because we're trying to get them out on the street so they can do spec ops, and that's kind of where we're at now. So, but I won't tell you how many we have on the street so far, because that's top secret. So, if you're out there and you're like, okay, what does he mean by that? It's like, look over your shoulder. Always be looking over your shoulder. There's probably a sister right behind you.
You have 1 minute remaining.
If you're not comfortable with that, get on the ground and put your hands on the ground and then kick your legs out so that you'll turn into a wheelbarrow. And then you won't be so scared. You'll know you're in good hands. This is End of the Road News, signing out.